adjourn the special meeting of the Little Elm Board of Trustees at 5:45 p.m. We'll have the annual financial management report for the year ended June 30th, 2023, financial integrity rating system of Texas. Thank you. Forgot to turn that on. Ms. Adams.
And actually, I'm going to ask our Executive Director of Business Services, Mr. Jesse Watts, to present that for you. Let's hear both available questions.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Land. Thank you for the opportunity to present our 2022-23 first rating, and also take a little bit of time to brag on our district. So as you're aware, these first ratings, they're based on some pretty old data. This is our 2022-23 school year rating based on data from 21-22 school year. So remember all the places you went 3 years ago. Just want to point out that Little LEISD did receive the highest award possible, A, a superior achievement, scoring 96 out of a possible 100 points. And these are the indicators that were graded on. These are pretty much the same ones as last year. They changed some of them a little bit, kind of tweaked the words so they sound a little bit more like a sentence and not like a word problem in algebra. But, the usual, do you pay your debt on time? Do you have sufficient fund balances? Do you have sufficient cash to cover your expenses? Is your PIMS data good? Those kinds of things. And I'm happy to report that for all indicators, the 12 and 13, which we'll get to in a second, we received the full maximum score possible. So for all indicators, whether they're worth 5 points, 10 points, some of them are a ceiling grade, meaning if you don't pass this indicator, then the most you can get is a 70 or the most you can get is an 80. But for all others besides 12 and 13, we received the full maximum award possible. So indicator number 12, what's the correlation between district's future debt requirements and the district's assessed property value? Their ideal score is a ratio of less than 4 for the math, and you can see it in the back of your the actual math breakdown. One should have a less than 4 in the ratio. We were at a 5.896, and the range for the 8 points goes from 4 to 7, so we were right in the middle. And this makes sense. This is kind of like in a growing district, you're building your buildings for when the kids come here, so you're borrowing money today to build the schools, so when the kids come tomorrow, you have the building ready for them. So basically, you're borrowing money now, but the property value that you're going to be taxing on isn't quite built yet until the kids come. So typically in a growing district, you'll see this about like where we're at. And in a stagnant district, you'll start getting those lower ratios because you're not borrowing new debt to accommodate growth. Indicator 13, our admin cost ratio equal to or less than the threshold. They want you, for a district our size, to be a ratio of less than 0.1. We were at a 0.1064. So we got 8 points instead of 10. We're so close. And then some transparency data we're required to report. Superintendent contract is posted online. And for the 2021-22 school year, reimbursements received by the superintendent and board members are posted on the website as well, and we'll go over those here in a second. No gifts were reported between the board and the board members of the superintendent for 2021-22, and no business transactions occurred between Little LEISD and the board members in the 21-22 school year. And these are the reimbursements received by the superintendent or board members in 21-22. And just a reminder to you guys in the public, these aren't reimbursements that were actually checks made payable to board members. If you go to a conference and there's a hotel or conference registration fee, lodging, airplane ticket, that kind of thing, all those they consider that a reimbursement to y'all, even though we pay directly to American Airlines or directly to Holiday Inn, but they want us to show that we paid on your behalf. The other category includes your registrations for conferences, professional memberships, things like that's the other category. Team day training stuff goes in there. All those that we paid on your behalf during the 21-22 school year. And that concludes the first presentation for this evening. If you have any questions.
Any board members have questions?
What all goes into the other category?
So other is literally other. That's funny. Motor fuel is because it's 1922. We call it motor fuel. Right. So basically, it's the things we pay on your behalf. It's your conference registrations, the memberships. if we do professional development for y'all, like team of 8 training is one in there. You all had over here that year had 307 for the share of the team of 8 training. It's anything that the district is paying for you to have a benefit of that wasn't lodging, gas, transportation, or food. It's the vast majority of this professional membership administration because conferences are not cheap.
It was actually approved by the board. Okay? Approved by y'all.
Oh, those when you go to those things, we pay for those on your behalf. Yeah. So I don't think there may have been only one in all that list. One item that was actually a physical reimbursement to a board member, and that was someone that drove to San Antonio that year, so and had to get mileage reimbursement. Everything else was just paid on behalf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Perfect. Further that, so the approval process, when you approve the budget, it includes the expenses, and then that budget is managed by someone who will come after the board. So she would submit her tour for you and say, talk to, it's a lot. So she would submit the registration, use that budget that's been approved by the approval process.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it very much. Ms. Lawrence, do we have any citizen input? Board comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion passes. We will adjourn at 5:51 p.m.